Hello, everyone. My name is Akai Fox. This is another installment of Every Monday Matters. On Mondays, I like to challenge ourselves to reflect and to think and to try to start the week with something that will better ourselves. I've been pulling these thoughts from Made of Stars, which is an amazing book about being able to self-realize some of the things in our lives and put some thought and some development and reflection behind all of those. This week, we have what are the darker traits within you and what are the positive traits that balance them? There's a beautiful quote here that I will share with you. And it says, "A light here required a shadow there." And that's from Virginia Woolf. Oh, where to begin? I'm sure as you think about this, we all think of maybe some of our most negative traits, and depending on where you're at in your journey, this may cause a lot of anxiety and stress. And I'll tell you this, that everyone has flaws. Everyone has things that maybe aren't the most ideal versions of themselves, but it's a focus on maybe some of the positive traits or some of the things maybe you're working towards to help balance those. Nobody is perfect. Perfectionism it's not real. It's, as a recovering perfectionist myself, it's okay to not be perfect. To be human is to not be perfect. So diving straight in, my first one is by nature, growing up my entire life, I've been a very negative person. I tend to be a little pessimistic and can be look at some of the worst things first. For those of you who have joined in on my streams would laugh at that and say, "What do you mean? You're always such a positive person." And that's because I've made it a focus to be as positive as possible and to see the brighter things throughout my life. And it's been a journey to get to that. I'll say that, but it's something I strive towards to help balance out my negative nature and some of the darkness that I've tried to escape from, I guess, throughout my life. But it's not my first reaction. I think it's a trained response now to become a little more positive. So just know that if you find yourself as a more negative person, you can unlearn things or at least train yourself to not always think in the same ways. My second one is a very interesting one, at least for me, as I reflect on, again, some of my darker traits. I'm very smart, which even saying it out loud sounds arrogant, and I'm quick to learn. I tend to retain things pretty well. But I can say that, especially in my workplace, it can also be a very double-edged sword of being maybe a know-it-all, or overshadowing other people and not allowing them to learn. So again, in trying to make a positive, I've tried to pay that forward. I've tried to share my knowledge. I try to help every single person that I can so that I'm also sharing that knowledge and hopefully undoing a lot of that perception that maybe I'm a know-it-all or maybe that I'm arrogant. I don't ever want to be perceived as such, but I have been. So it is constantly something that I strive to not. I openly admit I have faults. I openly admit I don't know everything, to make sure that I can be as genuine and as open to feedback and open to learning as possible. I love to learn. So it's something that, again, maybe that's not something you would think is a darker trait, but I know in my experience it hasn't been as positive as I would like. So it's something that I work through. I guess along with that is I'm a fixer. I'm a helper. I'm a fixer by nature. And while this can be a very good quality, it can also be very detrimental to people who are like, I just want to vent. I just want to tell you what's going on. I don't want you to always fix my problems. And in any relationship, that can be very toxic when you constantly just want to fix. And part of it's you want to remove the pain, you want to not see them uncomfortable, and so you're constantly giving advice. And I find myself in this position all of the time, which I hope that I do actually help people. Here we are, I'm giving you advice, or I'm sharing my own thoughts. But it is something that can be very negative in the same context. So my positive trait, and this is one I'm still working through, still learning, is to be a better listener and to hold my tongue more, to ask more questions. And that one is still a struggle for me. I have many of my friends who can share the same and say, you know, hey, I need you to just listen. So I just ask my friends, hey, if you don't want me to fix it, if you've got a problem, please just tell me. I'd like to vent. I'd like for you to just listen. And that helps quite a bit for me, but it's still something that I'm definitely flawed and working through. And my last one is I can be a little lazy. Go figure. I am slow to do things, which is funny because my positive trait to overcome or to balance that is I'm always busy, which you would think if I'm saying that I'm lazy would be I shouldn't be busy, but I find myself busy in ways that are productive, but I'm not productive in ways that I probably should be. I'm not someone who's active or exercises or does any of those things. And I have a tendency to build up clutter, to let things go a little longer probably than they should. And it's not my first nature to instinctually clean. I do get moments where I have to clean, but part of the problem is because I stay busy, because I don't want to feel lazy, then I don't always get to the things I probably should. And it's a very interesting double-sided coin that I'm constantly working through. And so those are some of my darker traits and some of my positive traits that help balance them. I don't know necessarily even that the last two truly help balance them, but they are my effort towards being better, I guess. And that's the whole point of all of this, is to reflect on the things that we want to correct and we want to fix, putting a voice behind them. The first thing is to acknowledge, and then to start thinking of ways that we can overcome them. So those were mine. I hope that maybe this video brought some ideas for yourself. Feel free to comment down below if you have any that you'd like to openly share. And if you liked this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of my Every Monday Matters or maybe my painting videos, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. It truly helps the channel to grow. And as always, you can catch me on my streams at twitch.tv/AkaiFox. I just want to thank you all for being here, for watching this, and you have a fantastic Monday. Thank you.